Kobe, Artest no. Nowitzki rebounds, Dallas. Right back to 22. Peja Stojakovic to Terry again, a three. Oh my goodness!
That was great ball movement. Not only did Jason Terry, behind the backboard, make the pass out. Once that pass went out, he continued right to the left corner, and then the pass was made. This is just an easy play for them. Slow rotation. Now keep an eye on Jason Terry as he passes out. There's the rotation. I give it right back up. Knock it home, big fella.
Near record performance for Jason Terry today. 9 made in a game. As we take a look at today's Cooler Talk, brought to you by Gatorade. Rex Chapman, Vince Carter, and Ray Allen might soon have company, as Jason Terry is now the 11th man to make exactly 8 three-pointers in a playoff game.
Well, anytime that the double team comes from the Lakers, you'll see the pass out. Once they pass the ball out on a diagonal, you'll see the second pass. And Jason has come in here today. He's 9 for 12 in field goals, but he's 8 for 9. Peja Stojakovic is 3 for 3. Between the two of them, they are 11 for 12 in threes. Now just think about this. If Ron Artest makes that uncontested layup, it's 17.
Right.
And it went right to 25 before you could blink.
In about 35 seconds,
That's
40
right.
seconds, 2 trips. The last man to make 8 threes in a playoff game. Laker fans, you will remember this. It was game 2 at Staples when Ray Allen had the 8 threes, part of his 32 points. Gasol scores inside for the Lakers and narrows it down from what was the largest lead of the game.
Well, I like what we saw there. We saw that if you're going to post, you're either going to post Artest in the painted area there, or then also Kobe Bryant. So you can't do that. You can't front a post-up guy and then allow the passer to pass. It's the old story. When you front a defense, you got to jam the passer and turn his shoulder so he can't see that pass.
Jason has 28. Gasol has back-to-back field goals for LA. Bynum and Gasol, 5 of 14 combined here. They have not featured Bynum very often in the game. Jason Terry, part of that great group of basketball players, fouled by Odom here on the outside. Part of that great group of basketball players from Seattle, but a bunch of terrific players from out in the Northwest who were coming up at around a similar time. Yes. And his acceptance of this role as a sixth man, won the sixth man award over the last 3 years, has really been such a unique part of playing Dallas, because as you like to say, it's not always who closes games very often, and he's on the floor.
Well, he's always on the floor, and then they play two-man basketball with Dirk Nowitzki. So we know that once you get to the fourth quarter, listen, Jason Terry is the third-rated finisher in the fourth quarter by over 6 points a game, and then right behind him is Dirk Nowitzki. So they have the third and fourth highest guys who score for you in the fourth quarter.
His playoff career high is 36. This is the second time he has 29 in these playoffs. Steve Blake in for Derek Fisher.
Now, Gad, come on, the defense has been good. They're trapping, recovering, forcing the extra pass.
Kobe misfires, 7 of 16. Nowitzki had a tip, but Stojakovic is there to chase. You just look at the floor for the Mavericks. You don't have a ton of guys who've won championship rings, but you have a lot of guys who have been in big playoff games. It's going to be a moving screen on Jason Kidd. His 4th personal foul. We'll see if Rick Carlisle goes to J.J. Barea here.
Well, you can't go wrong if you go to Barea, and he's coming right now. When you look at what they have done, it's just been spectacular. When you talk about Stojakovic, Terry, and Barea, at one time here, they were 15 for 19 from the floor.
Odom coming baseline. Kobe was out here calling for it, but Lamar had the edge inside. And the Lakers had done a better job getting inside for baskets in this third quarter.
Yeah. Well, it's good that they're making that happen, Mike, in a half-court game. But this is the problem right there. See, Jason Terry, also Barea, and Jason Kidd have continually beat the perimeter defense off the dribble. Then when the Lakers rotate, we know what's been happening. 1 pass, 2 pass, high percentage shots.
Stopping quick guards has been a problem with the Lakers over the last couple of years. Odom gets the bang in the bucket, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Now, Barea has been a total, a pest throughout this entire season. And this is what he does well. See, he'll take on Ron Artest right there. Hey, you're going to play me, Artest? Now, he switched off. There's been a lot of switching here in this quarter by the Lakers, and so they're getting a lot of mismatches. Barea sees it right there. Hey, from 22 to 24 feet, I can take Artest to this basket.
2 fouls on Tyson Chandler. Odom short on the free throw. The Lakers have brought Shannon Brown in off their bench to replace Artest, and Brown matches up with the quickness of Barea.
Well, the big thing is you can't continue to switch then and get the forwards or power forward or center out on a small man.
Chandler throws it off of a Laker out of bounds. It'll stay down here. Hubie, that's why I love watching sports and watching games. Who would have thought that Phil Jackson and the Lakers would have to adjust with a sub to get J.J. Barea and take him out of the game a couple of years ago when Barea was just making the roster? The same thing with Nowitzki. You go back to the early days as Barea hits another one. You go back to the early days of Nash and Nowitzki. They were bench players here in Dallas, and they'd come into, they got the key to the gym, they got in at night and worked on their pick and rolls and their odd shots and all that stuff. That's why those two guys have made it. Double dribble on Odom.
How do you like
look at Barea pushing at Odom. Delay a game warning on Lamar.
On the previous play, when Barea went down in there and he came back out from the baseline on a spin move, Brown wasn't sure where he was, and he just threw that little fadeaway. The perimeter people are just playing just with a nice casualness about them. They're not forcing anything, and they're playing to their strengths.
Jason Terry ties an NBA playoff record. 9 3-pointers made today. Shannon Brown knocks down his three-pointer. You said it before, Hubie. Just look at the score total for the Lakers. Here we are, late third. They're sitting on 57. They just cannot score. Dallas's defense has them a bit solved.
See, everyone will talk, and a lot of people will say, hey, Dallas is playing great in this series because of their offense. No, their defense has been superb.
Nowitzki inside for 2. Brown tries to go back-to-back with the threes. Terry on the rebound. Stojakovic at the line.
Come on.
15 threes in the game.
How about the pass from the left sideline all the way to the right sideline?
Odom forces his way inside and will come to the line on the other side of this timeout. The Dallas Mavericks on their way to a 4-game sweep of the 2-time defending champs, and it'll be a Jason Terry memorable game. He tied an NBA record, 9 threes made in a game. The team is 15 of 23 shooting threes, and they're blowing the Lakers out. Wow.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs on ABC, brought to you by Ford, Drive One, and Warner Brothers Pictures' Green Lantern, in theaters June 17.
In Major League Baseball, the Phillies tied with Cleveland atop the Major Leagues. That's 8 Eastern over on ESPN tonight. And then Monday night will be Josh Beckett on the hill for the Red Sox against the Minnesota Twins, who had a no-hitter last Monday night. See what happens. Defending champions swept in a best-of-7. The 83 Lakers were swept by Philly in the NBA Finals. And then the Lakers in 89 were swept by the Detroit Pistons. And that Piston group was swept in 91 by the Bulls. Remember, that was the famous walk-off game with the Pistons, and they just kind of walked off without the handshake. 96, the Rockets swept by Seattle in the conference semifinals after their run of titles. And then Miami in 07 was knocked out in the first round by the Bulls. It was a little bit different constitution to that Miami team at that point. Hubie, some may have thought Dallas could win this series. I don't think anyone was thinking it would be a sweep. And Jason Terry has helped make that a big change of scenery in this series.
Well, we said coming into this game, you had to appreciate their defense by holding the Lakers to 89 points. You had to appreciate their three-point shooting game, and they proved it here. In this game, they're 15 for 23. Then we also said their bench was so dominant, 37 to 17. That's a 20-plus in the first three games in each game. So they have stepped up and proved it to us in this encounter. And then when you just realize that the Lakers, now Kobe came out smoking. He was 6 for 8 in the first quarter, but since then 1 for 8.
Yeah.
So there's no one to rally around. But I still maintain, if Artest makes that layup and it goes to 17, the momentum was moving. It's gone from 17 to 29, and it's almost like a heartbeat.
They played him even up to that point in the third quarter. You're right, if not a little bit ahead. Jason Terry came back down. Yeah, to travel. He came back down on the spot.
That's the first time we have seen a Laker close out a shooter that was in the air, okay? I mean, he got up in there and then he realized that Blake was right out on top of him.
You know, it's interesting, Hubie, all these wide open threes that Dallas has shot and made for the most part here today. When you go back to that whole incident with Phil Jackson and the push punch on Pau Gasol as Barnes scores inside, the start of that time, he was chewing out Andrew Bynum in Game 3. Well, you go back and watch that portion of the game, there were 2 wide open threes on the 2 plays before that, mistakes on rotations, and Kobe even said, we were terrible with our defensive rotations in Game 3. That was the genesis of all that anger.
Well, Mike, come on, that's basic basketball. If you continue to beat our defensive guards, we then must rotate behind to cut them off from getting into the paint or to the rim. Once that happens, if they kick the ball out to the corner or behind the three-point line, now you're asking guys to get from the paint to the behind the three-point line. And we've just shown it here tonight that the Dallas ball movement has been absolutely beautiful because they're the width of the court, 50 feet. And that's what we mean by perfect spacing.
4.9 the difference, game and shot clock. Deflected away, here's Barnes, a little push at the end of the quarter. No, Stojakovic takes it away. Barea, why not? Everything else has gone in. End of the third quarter. Record-tying performance by Jason Terry, and we could be leading to the final quarter of Phil Jackson's Hall of Fame head coaching career. After 3, the Mavs by 24, and the NBA playoffs on ABC will continue after this message and a word from your ABC station.